Kadunabi Ibrahim Lubega. I am the CEO of the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda, and I have been as such since 2011.
Chair and honorable members, I am Sande-Mps.
Observations. Now we are here with two executive officers, one in the acting capacity, another in substantive. So whom are we dealing with and what are we going to do? Thank you.
Yes, let me guide. If I could recollect facts, in our first engagement with the Insurance Regulatory Authority, the gentleman here introduced himself as the acting Chief Executive Officer, and he has maintained the same introduction today. We heard that in his operation, this is from our previous meeting, he is sitting in his other office, not the office of the Chief Executive Officer. And we learned that now, I think Dr. Kadunabi, the former or current Chief Executive Officer, is also still in possession of the office and office properties, including a car. I think it was the revelation we got from this team, including the car and some other assets, office assets. Equally, we could not ably interrogate the background of any change, if any, because I think the team had not moved with the supportive documents. So we invited them again to return, first of all, with the board. And from the introduction, I think I had at least personalities introducing themselves as the board. And as well, we also invited, we wanted to interact also with the PSST. I'm yet to learn whether he was duly invited and which response we have. And then we also invited the former board members, because we also heard that the board had changes. I had some, at least some introduction from former board members, as I had. Now, whatever we have observed is subject to interrogation today, to the extent that the law permits. And at least for now, allow me guide as such and make these preliminary communications, then we can go into the details of yes, clarification.
Chair, you pardon me, acting CEO in the names of Sande-Mps. Then you also talked about the Dr. Kadunabi as the former. But with me, I have another document.
Maybe before you go there, I wanted to keep it at the level of their submission for now. We're going to interrogate that one, where you will go to the documents. Okay. Secondly, I did not to now avail us with the supporting documents, which he had not carried by then. We are yet to interrogate also that fact. But before we go into now the depth of the interrogation or the interface, colleagues, this week we have lined up multiple interactions with various entities, and on Wednesday from Wednesday we shall also have field engagements. And I hope, colleagues, there is a set of documents the Secretariat has saturated. It is part of our principal documents. We want
proof that at the time of my appointment as acting CEO, the permanent secretary, secretary of the Treasury, had an instrument in acting capacity as Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, mandating him to appoint me. Chair, I want to confirm that I have come along with that document. We have shared a copy of the same.
So, Annex A what you call the interim administrative arrangement.
Yes, Chair.
How did you access a copy? You give us a chronology, because we also invited the PSST.
No, Chair, from here, I engaged the ministry asking for the same.
In writing,
Yes, in writing.
you have a copy of the correspondence?
Chair, my director legal, you can come close.
You can proceed as you cross-check the correspondence, because we need proof that you did not access this from social media. We want to ascertain
Okay,
your access to this document. Yes?
all right. The second issue is the list of staff.
No. Just before we admit this document, Annexure 1, Annexure A, how did you receive it? Because you are submitting it as you, the accounting officer, if it turns out to be so.
Chair,
How was it received
I
by
had
the
confirmed
insurance?
that we asked for it formally.
Did you do it yourself or someone within the authority? Let me first, because we cannot just receive a copy from nowhere. If it is a secretary who processed it, he or she can assist you.
Chair, you had asked for evidence that we asked for it formally.
Yes.
That's what you had told me, that proceed as we get the evidence.
And how was it sent to you? They also forwarded it formally?
Yes, it was forwarded formally.
Any proof?
Chair, I had asked that you allow me, you allow my director of finance, if you please,
Yes.
to check, and we provide the same
The
evidence.
director of finance?
No, director legal.
Director legal.
I beg your pardon.
Beyond the record?
Chair, I did not come with the letter, but I request that it be requested from the Ministry of Finance, because that's where we submitted it. However, if you can allow time, we can also get it.
No. When you are sending your request,
Yes.
you have your. We want to a copy of your receiving copy.
Okay, Chair, please allow me some time. I'm going to send for it.
And how was this document sent to you now?
It was Ministry of Finance, Chair.
Was there a forwarding letter?
No, there was no forwarding letter.
Chair, maybe if you may allow, because of the urgency of this issue, one of our officers to go and bench the ministry to get this letter, because I was very sure that if I come here without it, then we shall be wasting the committee's time, because it was critical. But Chair, just like you invited PSST, if he says he did not give us this letter, then we can find ourselves in that position. But I can confirm that we sought for it legally. The only challenge was the time, and I had to deploy one of our officers to go and get a copy in preparation for this meeting.
All what we want to interrogate is that the document is authentic. It is not addressed to you, and it's not written by you. We just want proof that you formally, and you sought for it formally, not just picking any document and submit to the committee, because it will now form the basic part of the evidence.
Chair, I followed the guidance of this committee. In the last meeting, soft copy, and he said you could not admit soft copies. So I thought that by us presenting a hard copy, that would fulfill the expectations of this committee. So these are additional expectations.
No, but your legal secretary would have advised you that when submitting any evidence, you must show chronology, the source. Yes, Honorable Senator.
Thank you. Documents in terms of evidence. Chair has labored to explain that you are not the author of this document, neither are you the recipient. So it cannot in any way be tendered in by any of you. So what we want to know is that you did not smuggle this document into this committee. So let's see the chronology of those events.
Yes,
Short
sir.
of that, it can't be admissible, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Honorable.
Clarity goes to the acting CEO. You said you wrote to the the ministry asking for the CEO to be appointed. Did I hear you well?
No, I did not say that.
What did you
What I wrote asking for was an instrument which was stroke secretary of the treasury powers to act as a minister and therefore appoint me legally at the time of appointment as acting CEO.
So you requested the PS to appoint you legally?
Let me say this again, honorable member. When we
maybe
appeared,
before you answer that, just to aware that we are mandated to process the Auditor General's report, the observations within the Auditor General's report. We are duty bound to interface with the accounting officer. And by virtue of him introducing himself as the acting CEO, we wanted to ascertain the chronology of his appointment. And of course, from the letters submitted in our meeting, they alluded to the fact that he was appointed as acting CEO. At least he presented such letters. Our challenge was under which authority. So we summoned the PSST and as well also required him to present evidence of this particular authority that he empowered the PSST to act as the minister. Now, his documents for today, Annex A, which is the principal document, read interim administrative arrangement for execution of ministerial responsibilities. Unfortunately, he's not the author or recipient. The best we can do for him is to receive a chronology of him requesting and receiving a copy, which I think is also failing to account, because you cannot just pick a document from anywhere and present it as your principal evidence. I believe on this particular document, avail us with the correspondence, at least from Insurance Regulatory Authority. If you are saying that they gave you this document, but they haven't given you an accompanying letter, you would still have assisted us with a copy of your request, your formal request. We don't want you to operate in corridors that I called someone, I landed on this document, and you present it. Because this document assists us to ascertain that actually there was authority to press you with the said powers to preside over these matters under Insurance Regulatory Authority. So, is it your submission that the request is at your office for this particular letter? Or you did not write at all? Just clarify.
It again before this committee that we requested for this document formally. But in view of the time, I had to deploy an officer from office to go and make sure that we get this letter, because I was very sure that without it, we would have failed short on one of the requirements.
I understand you well. Is the officer here, the one who processed it?
No, the officer is not here.
Did you write formally to request for it? Yeah, and it is yes or no? Did you write?
Chair, we requested for this document formally.
What do you mean by request? And requesting formally, did you write?
Chair, I mentioned that we wrote, but we didn't get a response. And my director legal has mentioned that if you allow us time, we can bring that here.
So how much time do you need, director legal?
Chair, allow me 2 hours to go back to office.
Are you calling someone or you want to go back to office?
Chair, I need to go back and look into my documents to get it.
No, this being our second engagement. Yes?
Thank you very much, Chair. My name is Nyakato. You are legal? Is the legal officer for Uganda Regulatory Insurance Authority in order to continue telling us that you permit her to go and look for it 2 hours, yet the acting director said they wrote to the officer to give us the document and he was never replied in writing, but here he has a document which he has been able to give to the committee. I don't know how he was able to get it when he was not formally replied. So, Mr. Chair, is the legal officer in order to continue saying she's going to check her documents, yet the acting director is also talking about another officer of whom he got the documents from. Is he in order?
Another officer, then head legal.
Okay, Chair.
Just harmonize your response on that matter.
Okay.
Documents are channeled through the registry. Do we have an officer from the registry here?
Very much, Chair. Maybe I first need to explain our working relationship with the ministry for members to appreciate. The ministry is our supervisor. We have a desk officer at the ministry for insurance and other sectors. So to ease the communications, we usually communicate through the desk officer. Now, before that, I had held a meeting with the permanent secretary after this meeting to brief him on what has transpired. When I raised the issue of the letter, which was giving him powers, he said, but why didn't you present it? I said, we didn't have it. He said, no, it has been a public document. So we wrote through the principal office and our desk officer. Chair, I want to request that we are on record that we requested for this document officially, and we present the same after this meeting. If you may please, Chair.
MP Brashe, I wanted to be specific, clarify. We said we wrote, who exactly wrote? You know, you are talking we, who? The whole board member or what? Who wrote, so that when the letter comes, we know who exactly wrote. Thank you. To Finance Ministry.
To that, Mr. Chair, in the registry, it's because there is also another document which was written on 1st June 2026 regarding your appointment. The document is before us, but it bears any stamp that it was received or registered anywhere within your offices. So the issue we want to understand, much as you're saying you have a desk officer whom you do your communications through, we want to understand, do you have a registry where you keep your documents as an agency, or it is through individuals?
Because if your appointment becomes a sticky issue, it becomes critical that this document is properly before this committee. It's just a simple matter. So the issue is, if we could within make a call such that document, in that letter here, we're requesting for this, because legally you cannot have a document which we are, none of the recipient is not.
Me and you have served on the previous COSASE committee, and we have had such situations happening where we want documents and the entities say we left them there, or they give us this time. And now that the AD League has confirmed that the data is in her file, wouldn't it be procedure for you to direct one of our side to go with her and pick that letter for the committee? Because now, the other time, you did not conclude this committee, this entity. And now I am seeing as if we are going to the same thing. If the data is there, isn't it procedure for our CID to escort her and pick the data in her documents, and then we proceed?
Thank you, officer, as the case may be. What is your clarification?
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Number one, we are operating in a very difficult environment. From the time we were here and the time we have come back, a lot of things have happened. What is for sure a fact, Honorable Chair, is that this letter was formally gotten from the Ministry of Finance by one of my legal officers. She could come here and testify. Because she picked, she's not among these. I think she's called Sunain. Francesca, is it Sunain or Olivia? One of the two. It was Sunain.
Sunai.
She's a legal officer. She went to the ministry and picked this letter in view of the urgency of this matter. I will accept whatever consequences it will take if the ministry objects that actually they issued this letter to me. I will carry the cross, Honorable Chair.
Before I rule on
that a lot has happened, whether it was a letter or an email, because I've just seen another letter here. Maybe I was confusing it with this. This is for the accounting officer, which was signed off by the chair of the board. It is possible that between this and the letter asking for the ministerial appointment, I could have a confusion. But the letter is here, the one I was talking about, that we wrote.
The one you wrote?
Yeah.
It was requesting
It was signed by my chair of the board.
It was saying
requesting for confirmation of Dr. Prota. It was addressed to Dr. Ramadan Gobi, requesting him to confirm that Dr. Sande Protazio is an accounting officer of the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda. So it is possible that I could have mixed the two, but
let me first guide on this. The dilemma we have is that on record we have documents authored by the PSST appointing you as acting Chief Executive Officer. And why we are insisting on this, we are interrogating now the powers behind the appointment, aware that the Act specifically provides that such powers are exercisable by the minister.
Yes.
And that in the circumstances, your specific appointment was by the PS or PSST. By this letter, if admitted, would substantively give us a legal basis under which the PSST acted. And that's why we are insisting that we cannot receive it casually. But I had even given you some waiver to at least adduce evidence of your request. Because if the document was procured virtually without evidence, it becomes a challenge. Now, I would want to agree with the colleague who proposed that we send back the head legal with our CID.
Chair, I had mentioned that the letter I have is this.
So there is no letter.
This is what she has been able to get. And I'm saying that it is possible because we've had a lot of communications back and forth. Chair, including coordinating this big team to make sure that they are on this floor.
Let her be on
that
record.
they have written so many things.
Let her be on record.
It's possible that
I'm
confusing this with...
Can we also... Let head legal be on record. So the letter you meant was this one, not a request for this, for Annex A.
Chair, like my acting CEO has said, the instrument that you wanted from the ministry was procured from there by one of our legal officers, and it was brought to us. That letter that you have before you is one that is requesting, pursuant to the Public Finance Management Act and the Insurance Act, for the PSST to confirm that Dr. Sande is also the accounting officer. That's the letter that you have before you,
Was this
Chair.
letter responded to?
Not yet. Our officer is also still there at the ministry right now, waiting for that letter to be given to us, because we wrote that on Friday.
Which
Chair.
officer?
Officer Sunain Namaweje.
And by ministry you say...
The Ministry of Finance, Chair.
Ministry of Finance.
Yes.
Now, in the the available information is scanty. I will proceed and...
Chair, could you allow me to say... Thank you, Chair. I'm the chair of the board of IRA.
Be on the record?
Yes, I've put it on. Is it on?
Yeah, it's on now.
Yes, I am the chairperson of the board of IRA. Given what has been... I am using the microphone.
Pull it closer. Pull it closer.
Given what has been submitted, I think I would like to request the committee to give us time to bring you, I think I would like to request the committee to let us move on, because there are three things I noted. IRA is an agency of the Ministry of Finance. So we work extremely closely with the Ministry of Finance. And the issue of the issue of Dr. Protasio briefing the PSST and the issues that you discussed here, it shows you that this letter could have been obtained at that time. The request for this letter could have been made verbally. As Dr. Protasio has said, he could have mixed up a few things. You are aware that we have been in a tumultuous time in the IRA, and the top team is extremely busy. So I would beg you, Sir Honorable, to let us get you the chronology of how we got this. And should it be that there is nothing in writing, because they communicate on email, they communicate verbally, they communicate on phone, they communicate on personal visits. So could you give us time and we give you that and we move on from here? Lastly, Chair, we were very sure that the PSST was going to be here. So he was going to attest to this document, and he was going to bring how he became the minister for that period. So we were very sure that he was here. He was going to be here with us. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Honorable.
Chair.
Thank you very much, Chair. ED is totally not in charge of this insurance regulatory authority. But also according to his explanation, how he's over-referring to an officer, and how he says someone brought in a letter, meaning that was not written to him. That alone shows he is totally not in charge. The explanation of the chair led here, also shows the chair is the acting ED. Executive director is not in charge of this regulatory agency. I want to ask the acting ED, are you in charge of this regulatory agency, or your staff are in charge of you? Because going by the explanation, it shows you are very scattered, you are over making contradictory statements. Even you yourself, you're confirming the contradictory statements of your staff here, showing that totally they took over this regulatory agencies long time ago. Your acting is just an image. Are you in charge of this regulatory agency, Mr. Acting ED?
Let's first get all this. Yes, Honorable. The acting Chief Executive Officer, according to your own introduction, I would also call you as such. In circumstances that you are uncertain on the mode of communication, but at least you can attest to this letter that you received it. Of course, we can't receive documents and evidence casually. You just land on any document you bring to COSASE to try and back up your claim. That doesn't work. I had the chairperson board laboring to offer an explanation. I wouldn't hold you on his statements because you were not with us last time. But some of these directions were in committee here. The best we did for you is to invite you for further interaction over some other aspects. But of course, I take concern that you also oversee the operations of the authority. The subject in issue is on whether we have a substantive or an acting Chief Executive Officer. 2, whether we have an accounting officer. Already before us, another Kadunabi is saying he's the Chief Executive Officer. And he has mentioned it here before this committee. Now, next to you is another Sande saying he's the acting Chief Executive Officer. Now, we wanted to examine the chronology. So this becomes a very substantive document because from the appointment presented, it required this backup. Now, in the circumstances that even the responses are scanty, I'm constrained, but in order for us to proceed, I will put the acting CEO on oath and also the head legal. Either your submission to Minister of Finance or the response. You cannot submit a document which was not even received by the insurance regulator, because the way it was neither received by you with a stamp, nor attachment of a forwarding letter from Minister of Finance, and equally your request for the same document is lacking. We cannot presume that the authority transact casually, meaning that anyone can communicate, anyone can receive a document, or even that these officers can act on any information. That can't be. I don't think that's the authority you are pretending over as the chair board. So I will require that within today, you offer us a substantive proof that this document was actually received. And because before it is received by your authority, you have no mandate now to forward it to the committee. It was your document, Annexure number 1. For now, I'll rule that before we proceed, is it Dr. or Mr. Sande and the head legal, you are put on oath. I so rule. Clerk.